roads is a very important issue. I congratulate the mover of this motion in that all the roads that we ply in this country are saturated by kidnappers and also by armed robbers and all the ills of society that you can ever dream of. For instance, if you are to ply Damaturu, Maiduguri, Borno, from Borno State, you want to go to Yobe State, from Maiduguri to Damaturu on a 1.5-hour journey, it's a huge risk because the kidnappers and also the robbers are plying those roads, and these are their territories. The insecurity there is really worrisome. Also is the case of the Abuja-Kaduna Road highway, which has been going on for a very long time, and up to now people are very scared to follow that road because it's saturated by the armed robbers and the kidnappers. So in that, the security are doing all they can, and they're making concerted efforts to ensure and secure our federal roads and state roads. I think that this issue should be taken, there should be more effort put into securing these roads because it has become deadly. And as Christmas approaches and people will be traveling to their villages and towns, I think that government should look into increasing security in the roads that we ply. So I'm appealing to the federal government, I'm appealing to the defense, I'm appealing to the national security agencies, and as an addendum to what the mover of this motion has said, I think the Committee of National Security should also be involved. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for giving me the opportunity. Thank you very much.
Mr. Speaker, mine is slightly an amendment to that prayers. I would like to say, Mr. Speaker, that this motion, is timely. It has come a few days before the festive period. And I would like to say that we should urge those security chiefs to beam their searchlights on other federal roads, not just the Abuja-Kogi roads. Because this festive period, everybody needs security in all parts of the country. That we should ask the security chiefs to look at other federal roads across the entire country so that we have a very smooth Christmas celebration. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, this motion is very, very important to every one of us, most especially for we people of Kwara State, and even our people go to the east. As I said by one of my colleagues, that there should be an amendment to the motion, that this motion is not only applied to Lokoja, Abuja, it goes everywhere. Like Kwara, if you are going to Kwara now, it's not safe, Mr. Speaker. It's not safe for our people. If you are going to the east, it's not safe. So it's beyond only Kogi. It has to be all the road that is federal government road. They need to provide enough security, not only for this Christmas period. Every time. So, for example, Kogi, a few months ago, they were giving some little amount of money. I think about 10 million. They're supposed to create security within the axis of Kogi. So, Mr. Speaker, colleagues, and that's one reason why, about 3 weeks ago, we raised an issue about firemen, that they need to repair some roads before this period. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I want you to please support this motion raised by Honorable Leke. It's beyond Kogi Egbe Road. It goes everywhere in this country. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity.
My name is Honorable Victor Mela Danzaria, I represent the people of Balanga Iliri Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Gombe State. Mr. Speaker, I rise to support this important motion with few words. It's not a news that we're talking about kidnapping, robbery, and so many activities that is happening on Nigerian roads. This is so important that everybody in this country is scared of traveling. The rich travel by air, and others, they devise their means. For Nigerians and for us, honorable colleagues, we need to do something serious, something exceptional, which we have not seen it done by our armed forces. Number one, Mr. Speaker, the country needs more policing, more of armed forces. The recent recruitment done by the police, Mr. Speaker, I think it should be increased, the number of policemen in this country. Another area that needs encouragement that we've not seen so far is the area of community policing. Most of these activities of these bandits or armed robbers or kidnappers, they are close to communities. We've not seen good communication, intelligent communication between communities and the police and other armed forces. If we encourage that, every time we see different people in our communities, for instance, we report it secretly. I'm sure some effort, proactive effort, will be taken. Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, this is a serious issue. Like Honorable Member said in Kwara, this affects all Nigerian roads. It's not just Kogi. I'm adding to that. Another area that I think our armed forces, we've not seen them look into is area of aerial surveillance. Mr. Speaker, it is important for the armed forces of this nation to imbibe in aerial surveillance, whether at night or noon or day. It's important because whenever this aerial surveillance is being taken place, I am very sure that these bad people, these kidnappers, will be caught red-handed and will be killed, and most of this will be mitigated. Finally, Mr. Speaker, in the area of intelligence, it's important to encourage our communities, to protect our communities, to communicate to the armed forces, to communicate to the police whenever they see some of these new people in their society or in their area, so that much of these activities will be mitigated and Nigerians will travel by road freely. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, honorable colleagues.
Onofiog Luke, Etinan, Nsaribom, Nsurubiom Federal Constituency. I'm from Akwa Ibom State. Mr. Speaker, I want to lend my voice in support of the submissions of Honorable Leke Agbejide on the need for enforced security on not only the Abuja-Lokoja road, but the entirety of the road network, the federal road network that straddle the length and breadth of this country, especially in this festive season, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we are aware of the challenges of insecurity that we are faced with. And my own first position in supporting that motion is to make sure, Mr. Speaker, that we have an exchange of intelligence and the working collaboration and the working together of the security agencies of this country. Mr. Speaker, the other point is that though we are not giving this as an excuse for criminality, Mr. Speaker, life is hard in this country. So many Nigerians, Mr. Speaker, are struggling to survive. So if we want to check insecurity on these roads, Mr. Speaker, there is need for a very conscious effort for the chief executive of states to be able to come together on a bipartisan approach with Mr. President for us to see how we can lift Nigerians out of poverty. Because that is one area that we believe that we will be able to check the insecurity that we are faced with. And the other one, Mr. Speaker, finally, is that we need in this country to be able to be with saving heart and not scheming heads. Because we are more of scheming heads in the pursuit of what we intend to do more than saving hearts. If we have saving hearts, a heart meant for the betterment of this country, meant for the development of this country, instead of scheming heads of what we want to become or where we want to get to. Together, Mr. Speaker, I believe that from the north to the south to the east, we have what it takes as leaders if we have saving hearts to be able to solve the challenges that are faced with this country. So I lend my voice to the support and the prayers of Leke, but only to the fact that it has to be extended to other parts of this country, Mr. Speaker. Those are my humble submissions, sir.
My name's Honorable Gibeon Fitila Goroki. I represent the good, hard-working people of Wilk, Shelong Federal Constituency. I'm from Adamawa State, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the issue of insecurity in this country is not a new thing. As former IGP, Tafa Balogun will always say in his Yoruba to Nation, security is everybody's business. Mr. Speaker, I think it is a duty for us to bring suggestions and ideas how insecurity in Nigeria will be tackled. Mr. Speaker, it will interest you. I served the Nigerian police for 32 years before resigning into politics. Mr. Speaker, when I was enlisted into the Nigerian police, administratively, the headquarters was fighting crime. And how do they do that? If you are in a command and several crimes are being committed, you will be transferred to police headquarters. There are offices that are meant for discipline, like the provost and other offices like that. Mr. Speaker, whether we like it or not, history will have it. Our service chiefs have not done well. And still, we are keeping silent in this country. Mr. Speaker, they have become what we used to call in the civil service permanent secretaries. Mr. Speaker, or rather, they have become emirs that cannot be removed easily. Action has to be taken, Mr. Speaker, in order for us to get it right in terms of security. Mr. Speaker, we have gallant and effective soldiers in our military. If today, Mr. Speaker, these service chiefs are removed and another set brought in, Mr. Speaker, it will reach a stage after maybe having 2-3 sets, we will get it right in terms of this insecurity. Mr. Speaker, we have to do it with all one-hearted, and let us see that our country is secured. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I so move.
With a motion bordering on security, on kidnapping, on armed robbery, on the death of fellow Nigerians on Nigerian roads. Mr. Speaker, globally, there are periods when insecurity, kidnapping, even accidents on the road are known to be on the increase. And serious law enforcement dictates that you respond by taking preemptive measures, putting out adequate security people along Nigerian roads, knowing fully well that at such a period, such as the end of the year, such as the Christmas season, other festive seasons in Nigeria, we will have heightened activities on Nigerian roads. And in some cases, sir, we have actually seen the Nigerian security forces respond by rolling out their men on certain parts of our Nigerian roads. But what do we find? What we find on ground is that instead of, in most cases, being a solution, these men that are supposed to actually safeguard the lives of Nigerians traversing the length and breadth of this country at such a period sometimes are not there when we need them most. They seem to be more interested in public display of corruption, sometimes collecting monies openly from motorists, engaging in all manners of disruption, even causing untold hardship by the kind of long delays and traffic jams that they cause on Nigerian roads. This is not a motion that is speaking to just the moment. I don't have a crystal ball, my dear colleagues, but I predict that by the time we get to April, when it's going to be Easter, or by the next time that we're going to be doing our Salah celebrations, any time that there's going to be a surge on Nigerian roads, we witness these kind of situations. Therefore, my dear colleagues, I think that enough is enough. When it comes to the issue of kidnapping, armed robbery on Nigerian roads, we need our security forces to stand up to be counted. They need to live up, not just to be collecting bribes on the road and at the checkpoints, but to actually make sure that the Nigerian road becomes safer during Christmas periods and other festive seasons. Kidnappers and armed robbers are also human beings. If we match them force with force on the road, I guarantee you these people will disappear. This is a wake-up call to all of us Nigerians to join hands and demand that our security forces rise up to the expectations of Nigerians. I so submit. Thank you.
And this responsibility of government, our expectation, is expected to be observed not in breach, but in fulfillment of that cardinal principle of our Constitution. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, it is common knowledge on what has been happening in our highways. Last few weeks and few months, it was Abuja, Kaduna to Kano. It was Birnin-Ngwari. Presently, these hoodlums who are looking for ungoverned spaces in our country have migrated from to Abaji, Lokoja, Abuja to Lokoja. Unfortunately, for commuters and for road users, this is a very, very curious and very, very important time because Nigerians are traveling for the festival season. This is Christmas and this is end of the year. Most Nigerians are traveling. Unfortunately, if these spaces continue to be available for these hoodlums, it means our citizens will continue to be victims. Mr. Speaker, I don't want to belabor you with a number of people who have been kidnapped or attacked on these highways. But my constituents had been victims. The HPM of an Aniri local government, the treasurer of an Aniri local government, and the driver, they were victims on this road or at Wally Point while they were coming for a conference in Abuja. And you can understand what Nigerians go through. So, Mr. Speaker, as a matter of fact, people from the southeast are actually suffering double jeopardy. One, the airport is not working, and they have been subjected to traveling by road. And if the roads are inclement, what will happen? So, Mr. Speaker, the duty of this parliament is to aid our citizens. And we are supporting this motion, which I actually had my own brief motion. I had my own motion, but Lekki had it. We are suffering severally and collectively. Whether it is whether it is Abuja to Kaduna to Kano, or whether it is Benin to Lagos, Mr. Speaker, the security situation is very perilous. And this is coupled with the fact that our roads are not in such a state that we can avert some of these circumstances. So, honorable colleagues, I would want us to support this motion. First and foremost, that the security chiefs, particularly the Inspector General of Police, should make sure that these ungoverned spaces are filled up with security men with sufficient equipment. Two, the roads leading to these areas, particularly in the southeast, should be addressed by FEMA. Of particular significance, Mr. Speaker, is between Ajokuta and Lokoja. In fact, the road that borders the Ajokuta factory, the Ajokuta State Complex, is in a terrible state. So I believe that this parliament will be doing its duty by bringing attention and the agencies of government to do their job. So I support the motion fully, and it should be carried.
A lot has been said about this motion, and I believe that every member that is sitting here is in support of this motion. But I just want to read from our Constitution. That what we are asking today is not something ordinary. It's not something that is out of place. This is what the Constitution says we should do as government. And I quote chapter 14, section 14(2)(b). And I quote, "The security and welfare of the people shall be the primary purpose of government." Mr. Speaker, having read this, it is obvious that what is happening today shouldn't have happened if we have lived up to expectation. And I'm saying it without mincing words. People are losing their lives on a daily basis. For people from Southeast, Enugu Airport is closed for months, and I don't know when it will be reopened. But even if the airport is open, it's not everybody that is going to be going by air. From Enugu Airport to Olobanta, we've seen series of kidnapping and killings and robbery on daily basis. If you talk about from Lagos to Benin Ore Road, same story. Talk about Abuja to Kaduna, Katsina Road, everywhere. So the issues are very simple. As Parliament, I'm adding that the leadership of this House, though we have been doing a lot, should engage the security agencies to find out why and how these issues of kidnapping and robbery should be put to a stop. Other than this, by January we'll still bring motions. God forbid, these people will still be on the road even nothing happens. You're talking about bad roads. It's everywhere. I'm not saying the government is not doing anything, but I am saying that this is justice according to law. It's about constitutional provision that nobody should flout. So I add and urge that the government of the day, with the leadership of the House, should engage the people who are involved to make sure that our roads are safe, that people who are traveling can travel anytime. So, Mr. Speaker, that's my only true contribution, and I support this motion.
Respected colleagues, Honorable Eden, the amendment.
Mr. Speaker, my amendment is to urge security chiefs to beam their searchlights on all the federal roads across the entire country so that we can have a very smooth Christmas celebration. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Those in favor of the amendment say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable Jaha, your amendment.
Bama, Pulka, Goza, Madagali Road, Maiduguri, Dambua, Chibok Road,
and Maiduguri, Damboa, Biu Road.
All the road in Nigeria.
So I moved. All these roads are in my constituency. And if you are doubting it, just follow me tomorrow. I'm going to that so that so I move.
I rise to second the motion, the amended motion moved by Honorable Goda. I so second.
Those in favor of the amendment say aye. Those against say nay. The nays have it. Respected colleagues, amendment. Sorry, sir. I thought the amendment has been captured by the one moved by Honorable Edem, who says all federal roads. I don't know what, except you have another. Huh? You want us to take the state roads? Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Say aye. Those against say nay. That's have it. Honorable Bello. Yeah. Matter of urgent public importance.
Mr. Speaker, I rise through Order 8, Rule 4, for this Honorable House to suspend its rule and allow me to present a matter of public importance. So I move, Mr. Speaker.
Introduce the subject matter.
Subject matter, Mr. Speaker, is on the issue of obtaining degree from the Republic of Benin within 6 months. Within 6 months, Mr. Speaker. That is the crux of the matter, Mr. Speaker.
I will still go there to obtain degree within 6 months. Yes, and come back here to be wanting to be enrolled into service, which is quite very questionable. That's why he's bringing the motion, and I think it's quite urgent for us to investigate. Any seconder?
My name is Honorable Aniekan Umana. I represent the unique people of Abak, Etimekpo, Ikafera constituency. Mr. Speaker, I am from Akwa Ibom State. I rise to second the motion as moved by my colleague. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
There is the urgent need to checkmate the trend of sending students who graduate within 6 months in Benin Republic for National Youth Service Corps. Note that Nigerians now shuttle to Benin Republic where they graduate and obtain degree certificates in 6 months. Aware that the National Youth Service Corps in October 2019 had refused to issue a certificate of national service to some former corps members who graduated from institutions in the Republic of Benin and some other African countries after a rigorous 1-year compulsory service. The Director General of NYSC recently accused universities in the Republic of Benin of presenting unqualified persons for its 1-year mandatory national service. Further aware that Nigerian students now run to Cotonou in Benin Republic to bag a degree in 1 year, some for 6 or 3 months. The very degree certificate that takes brilliant students 4, 5, or 6 years to acquire in Nigeria can now be obtained within 6 or 7 months in Benin Republic. Surely the standard is low in Benin Republic. The 6 months it takes to graduate in Benin Republic is equivalent to 1 semester in Nigerian universities. Concerned that this is doing a great damage to Nigerian education sector, many students that cannot cope with Nigerian universities for their academic weaknesses rush over to Cotonou or their affiliated institutions here in Nigeria to bag a degree within 6 months. Some go over there because they could not pass JAM exams. There are other reasons, which include cheaper school fees. Whatever the reason, the standard should meet up with the university standard. Worried that there are also allegations of buying and selling of degree certificates in Benin Republic, the activities of unscrupulous persons who bring shame to the country through the sale of academic qualifications to unqualified graduates is condemnable. The whole scenario of graduating within 6 months and being mobilized for National Youth Service is an ill wind that blows nobody any good. The National Universities Commission should wake up and look into this by giving the universities in Cotonou or Benin Republic the standard acquired in our country, accepted in our country. The NUC should sensitize Nigerians on the fully accredited institutions in Benin Republic to avoid being admitted for a fake degree. The Ministry of Education, the NYSC should work together to see how this issue will be addressed.
It is not just within the confines of Nigeria, and it is investigative motion. I would rather plead with you that we put the question for the investigation to take place rather than debating it, so that we do not sever our relationship. Amendment? Yes, sir.
I am Honorable Haruna Michelia. I represent Askra Ubahawul Federal Constituency of Borno State. I want to amend the prayers, Mr. Speaker, to include even master's degrees in different fields. People working in various states and sectors in this country will go there and register. And within a short period, without attending any lectures, come back with a very beautifully laminated master's degree from Niger. So it should include even master's degree. So I want to amend that the NUC and other different regulatory bodies should put the searchlight on universities in Niger. I so amend, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
For the amendment, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Yes, Doctor.
Mr. Speaker, my amendment is to also urge the National University Commission and Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria to investigate foreign institutions.
Are you moving a motion? Okay.
I'm just making an amendment to include the National University Commission and Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria to further investigate all the countries that are training